difference on the exit was insane. I was already 80% past Vettel's Kart when I overtake maneuver on the outside at 40 km/h, ending straight into barriers. And you may ask, what do I and Vettel have to do with any of this? I'm Artur Sorokin, I'm 16 years old, and my goal is to break into motorsport from absolute zero. I decided to start training right then and there. So I went to a 2-story indoor rental karting center. We arrived right at the opening, they gave me a racing suit, and we paid $7 for a basic 10-minute session. At the moment that was the absolute maximum I could afford. Then we got our briefing and put our helmets on. I was assigned kart number 1. My internal emotions were complete raw. Adrenaline and excitement were boiling inside me, but not everything in the story ends up being so bright. My first lap was just an old lap to get used to the kart. I clipped the barrier and lost about 3 or 4 seconds. But even with all that, I managed to set the fastest lap of the entire session. My out lap turned out to be the absolute best, at 35.925. After that, I was aggressively fighting throughout traffic while putting down solid lap times. The lap is a little worse here because I lost my shoe at the exit of the turn. Then on lap 6 I caught up to kart number 5. Thanks to a better exit line out of S section onto the second stage, I pulled level with him by about 80% and dove into the next S turn toward a long right-hander. He had no choice but to let me through. Even though he stayed right on my tail, I managed to pull away from him through the S-curves. The third section was my absolute best whenever I wasn't blocked by traffic. Next in the footage you can see lap 7 and the attempt of kart number 5. The man I just overtook trying to catch me. He threw himself into the chase and I was desperately pulling away, building a small gap, but then on the uphill section leading to the upper level, I got completely blocked by traffic. And Vettel, kart number 5, caught right up to me. Judging by how he drove, there was a very arrogant guy inside that helmet, who clearly had never faced any real competition before. He lunges on the outside in the hairpin. Seeing this, I leave him room and tag is right behind him, bumper to bumper, literally millimeters apart. On the exit towards the first stage, I go wide to pass the backmaker we caught on the hill. The traffic is right in front of me, while Vettel is holding the right side. At this point, I'm already level with him by 50%. To make things worse, another kart is catching up to Vettel on the right. We are fast approaching the entry to the S section. Realizing I'm about to slam into the guy ahead, I make a cold-blooded decision. I hit the brakes hard and sharply dive right behind Vettel on the turtle, letting him ahead. You can see how we exit 3 wide, Vettel, me and the other guy who caught up during the battle, all bumper to bumper. On the second stage I pull level with Vettel's kart by 20%, but decide not to dive in. I understand that racing etiquette exists. I have no right to dive bomb him and he has every right to follow his line. So I just stick to his bumper. We approach the long corner. It's the infamous lap 8. I catch him right at the descent to the lower level. We enter the S-course, my exit is way better and I go for an overtake on the outside. The speed difference on the exit was insane and my kart had already accelerated to 40 km/h. I was already 80% past Vettel's kart when my expectation of clean racing and etiquette shatter against the barrier. Vettel just drives straight, leaving me absolutely zero room. At that speed I didn't even have time to touch the brakes and flew front first right under the protective plastic barriers. I observed a G-force impact of about 8 to 10 G. Right after the crash I didn't feel any pain. For the first 3 seconds I was just trying to process what had happened. Then poor engine kicked in about the lost track time and the ruined battle. While I was stuck there, time was ticking. I wasn't thinking about Vettel. My only goal was to get back on track as fast as possible. I lost 3 out of my 10 minutes. 3 minutes of just waiting to be pulled out. My desire to return was so intense that I got out of the car knowing it breaks the rules and started pulling it out of the barrier manually. My hands were pitch black from grease. I was covered in sweat. And only after 3 minutes did the track staff finally drive up and get me out. I saw Vettel driving past and slammed the gas with everything I had. I was immediately on his tail. I acted with absolute precision. I realized there won't be zero respect or clean fighting here, so I controlled my movements 100%. Overtaking him became my ultimate priority. In the video you can see me pressure him intensely, looking for a move on the inside, but I choose not to risk it and keep up a brutal psychological press. There was no regret in my eyes. The moment I got pulled out of that barrier, pure adrenaline and hunger woke up inside me. I wasn't leaving without winning this duel. And right there on the final lap, I'm already about 10% ahead of him at the hairpin before the main stage. You can see it, the hairpin and the exit onto the stage and taking completely flat out without braking. But right before the stage, Vettel decided to brake test me. You can actually hear the distinct sound of the collision on video. I slammed into him like he's a standing wall. Incredible dirty, but by that point, completely predictable behavior. After that contact, I kept my foot pinned to the floor and pulled to the left side. I blow past him on the stretch and give him a hand gesture like, "What are you doing, bro?" I could literally feel his rage on the track. I dive into the S-course and he follows right behind me. You can see his line. He's driving straight, literally hoping to spin me out or force a heavy contact. I take a very wide line and sharply cut back onto the second stage. He missed his chance and I prevent any contact by choosing the optimal defensive line. I managed to pull away by more than 1.5 kart lengths and dive into the S-course before the long right hander, but right there I meet traffic. Right at the exit of the long turn, I run straight into a guy who hasn't managed to pull away yet and is still finishing his corner. I instantly lose all my speed and see a maniacal Vettel in his white helmet rushing at me from the side. I realize he has no intention of stopping, his only goal is revenge. I decide to outplay him tactically. I pin the turtle to the maximum, he smashed right into my rear bumper, giving me an extra push of momentum, and I instantly dive into the long right turn, escaping down to the lower level. At the exit of the lower level, I meet a pack of karts and the checkered flag. I hit the brakes as hard as I can. Vettel skates up and dives down the inside, but at this point it doesn't matter anymore. I beat him on the track cleanly, using my brain and my skill. I just let him pass to entertain his fragile ego. All my emotions upon returning to the pits were pure frustration over the lost time. For me this session was paid money, and under my strict budget limitation the track time is gold. However, it's an experience. Yes, it's an experience of dirty racing, where you aren't respected on the track and racing etiquette means nothing to your opponents. Right after that I took off my helmet and left without waiting for him. Despite the crash I got my telemetry. My best lap was just 0.546 seconds of Vettel pace. I took position first and third of the session fastest lap. It's a shame I couldn't show you the pole footage. I'm doing my best to upgrade my channel and I'm currently saving up for a GoPro. If you want to support me and speed up this process, please check the boosty link in the description. Every bit of help means the world to me. The crash slammed my back hard into the seat and I walked away with a nasty bruise. But the goal remains the same. Subscribe to watch the student with $0 fighting his way to the real racetracks of Europe. Stay safe, clean racing to everyone, and see you in the next video.